behold, a cold open. We went on vacation, which usually when one of us goes on vacation...
With our wives.
Yeah. And also with Kevin. We went on vacation. Usually when we go on vacation, that's a easy, free episode because we can just... One of us tells the other vacation anecdotes. Do you like it? Unclear, but we sure get a lot out of it in that we don't have to think up a new episode idea.
Yeah, but the problem is, like, we were there the whole time for each other. Like, there's nothing you can tell me.
Yeah, I know all the anecdotes. I'm like, Joe, do you remember what? And you'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, so, and I'll be like, they'll never find the body. Relax.
So yeah, we were in North Carolina. My wife's parents have a rental house there on the fucking beach that no one's in on account of it's March. So we were in there. It was super fun. One thing that we did notice, though, we flew in through the city of Wilmington, North Carolina, and we had dinner there because we got into the airport at dinner time, and we were really taken. Like, oh shit! Like downtown Wilmington is like so cute and and busy and like fun.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't stay there long because we were really tired and we had to get to the house. But like it was like, oh my god! Like I love this. Like even just this little slice of Wilmington we've seen is so charming. Mid-sized city supremacy. I actually like mid-sized city. Like why am I living in Chicago? We should all move to mid-sized cities, you guys. You know what we should do later in this? We should drive up later in the trip, spend some time in Wilmington, and really get to know the city.
So the part that was charming was actually just 2 blocks.
Yeah, we did see all of it.
We did see all of it very easily. You can see it in a half a day. It's very cute. But if you're jogging, you can knock that out in 20 minutes.
Yeah, the rest of it, because we went to a restaurant for lunch on the other side of the city, and what we discovered is that all of Wilmington outside of that little downtown area is indistinguishable from Orland Park.
Yeah, I with the trees were different, but it could have been the southwest suburbs.
It was just a big, horrible strode, your big 4-lane mini highway with little strip malls constantly on the sides.
A bunch of development, which is destroying wetland that your wife explained in great detail.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, you would not believe the number of construction vehicles spending 24 hours a day generating piles. It was really a pile-based landscape. However, Joe, there was one time we went down to this little this cafe that was on the waterfront for lunch. And it was a bright, sunny day. It was very comfortable. So we were all wearing like light clothing. And then we discovered a truly horrifying thing, which is that the fucking cafe outdoors on the waterfront is under a little deck. So there's
very
shade.
cold.
Cold.
This was my first plane trip where I didn't bring a coat because last time I had a winter coat to a warm location. Obviously, when I got there, I was just like, fuck, I hate it. So my big brain move was to not do that again. So I didn't have a light jacket. I get there, and I'm like, this is a little chilly, but I can do it. I can't do it. It just gets colder and colder.
Also, you ordered a big Coca-Cola full o' ice.
I got a Coca-Cola, yeah.
Very chilly brew.
And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to have to do the thing I did when I was in Florida, which is I am at a touristy location and I am cold and I have to go inside and buy a stupid hoodie so I don't freeze. I have a Margaritaville shirt for the same reason. So I go in there and I'm like, can I please have a hoodie? I'm very cold. And they're like, okay, cool. Yeah, what size? I was like, medium. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. And it's just like a display case. And this woman is just like digging through them. She can't find anything. She's like, I think the best I can do is extra large. And I was like, that's even warmer. So yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's more room for the warm air to be trapped. You're going to be so toasty.
So I wore this. And this is the most unflattering piece of clothing I've ever had. It turns me into Shrek. It sucks so bad.
You said you wore this on a meeting once?
When I got home, I was like, what the fuck am I going to do with this awful hoodie? And I was like, you know what this is? This is my fucking around hoodie. This is like, I'm lazy at home and don't care hoodie.
That's what pajama clothing.
Correct. It's also very warm. So, I woke up on a work day. I was cold. I threw it on. Lost track of time. I could jump on video for a meeting. And I realized that the hoodie is so large and bunched in the shoulders, it looks like Endgame WoW armor. It sucks. I look so like my shape is so indefined.
The funny thing about this, Joe, is that what you're describing is how all shirts were in the 90s. It used to be that if you had the shoulder seams of your clothing be on your shoulders, you were gay. You were there was no discussion. It's that's a gay guy wearing his gay guy's outfit. You need to have those shoulder seams halfway down the arm, close to the elbow even.
Yeah, that was the metrosexual thing where it was just if you have your fly zipped up, you love dicks. In retrospect, that wasn't healthy, Yeah,
it wasn't. Also, I'll say it. Looks like shit when your clothes don't fit.
Yeah, I did. So yeah, I have it's also the name of the place of the cafe was the Fishy Cafe. So it's just very stupid words to have on your giant Winnie the Pooh shirt.
It's the dumbest place. It's got those stupid things that beach houses have where it's a plank of wood with a raunchy joke about pounding beers, but there's 50 of them all in a row. And it's just oh, hell yeah. And the food's fine. It's not even really good.
It was good. It was a spiced mustard fish po' boy. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Obviously I was chattering because I was freezing.
Mm-hmm. It was fun.
Tom is really doing everyone a disservice because he has not said that the car we had to drive around in that we got from the rental place was a Charger. It's the least Tom car of all. I mean, it's the least us car of all time. Certainly, the five of us did not match this at all. So it was very funny every time we got into that sucker.
The lady at the desk at the fucking rental car desk was like, "Hey, lucky you, we got you in a brand new Dodge Charger." And I'm sorry, ma'am. I am just genetically unable to care about that. that sort of implication that you're gonna have fun. No. I'm going to drive very defensively.
I told my manager we had gotten a Charger, and she's a cool lady who's a surfer. So she's like, "Oh, did you put it to the test?" And I was like, "We stayed 5 below the speed limit the whole time."
Excuse me, I was at the speed limit. I'm not one of those fools who goes under. Come on. No, I followed the speed limit. Whenever there was those turns in the road where it's turn upcoming, 30 miles per hour for the turn, I'm I will slow down to that speed. Because, Joe, they wouldn't have put that. They used testing to discover the appropriate speed. So, so who am I to disagree? Yeah, I never put that shit to the test. You know how I put it to the test? I was the test is, can I not get in an accident? And it passed with flying colors.
It helped we only went to Food Lion. The best named grocery store. I'm a big Jewel booster, but fucking Food Lion?
Food Lion's so good. It's like a little story. There's a lion who brought you the food. Yeah, the real reason we went is so that there was the beach. Honestly, Joe has said this many times. The only distinguishing characteristic that marked this as a vacation and not normal is that there was the beach there, which that's enough. We knew that going in. We're not shocked to learn this.
That's how I felt about my trip to Florida. I was obviously there's tons of palm trees and gators,
and Ron DeSatan lives there.
Yeah, but that's Noodles and Company.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Anime Sickos. It's the podcast for geniuses and the only podcast where we take a look at the four pillars of modern misery, those being anime, gaming, posting, and jobs. I am Tom, an anime sicko.
I am Joe, an anime sicko.
We're doing a posting one today. We're going to read insane posts to you. There have been quite a lot. Joe, how should we start off?
I mean, like the obvious low-hanging fruit, I'm talking like no effort bullshit, is that Jordan Peterson did a fear retweet of a bunch of guys getting their dicks sucked by machines. But I mean, talking about that would be like really low-hanging fruit, right?
Yeah, and I agree. Just really low effort, no brain activity kind of shit, which is obviously why we are going to do it. Mm-hmm. We will pick that fruit. It's right in front of our faces. It's hanging so low, folks.
I find the lower ones to be the easiest to pick. I don't know.
I'm going to physical therapy. They're saying to not stress my body too much, and I mean to reach up very high to get a high hanging fruit. That's just going to make my back hurt more. So really, there's no choice here. We got to take this low hanging fruit. It's a no brainer to me. Yeah, he retweeted the Dick Sucking Factory.
Yeah, so this is when everyone's like, I work at the Dick Sucking Factory. So this is that factory.
Yeah.
It's real. It's not a joke.
It was a video. Someone has saved the video. You can see it. And it's three guys lying on hospital beds, and they have dick sucking machines attached to their dicks.
Yeah.
And they're going, sucking on their ding dongs. And...
Yeah. Remember, like, how banks had pneumatic tubes? That's, like, what we're dealing with.
Just so you know, this is, this is not, like, suggested. Like, you can see it all. Like, you can see the hogs. You can see the ball sacks.
Yeah.
You can see the dicks going up and down as they're getting sucked by the machine. It's straight up pornography. And
then he made it, like, the Chinese did this, right? Like, he had a weird angle there.
So his caption that he added to this quote retweet was such fun and unbelievable techno nightmare CCP hell. Except China's Communist Party. Now, Joe, what do you make of that?
I don't know. I think anything that is scary or unpleasant, you could just say is dystopian. I kind of feel like he's never been at 100% since his Russian trip.
Yeah, since he was in like a brain death coma on account of eating cider.
He is dressing really cool now. Credit where credit is due. He's got like a powder blue suit that looks like, I like it because he is not a fun person. He doesn't look like he likes fun or has ever enjoyed fun. But the suit is objectively fun.
He had a post where he's like, hello everybody, I've been gifted 10 suits from the Riddler. These have been custom made by the Riddler, not the one from the Batman who's dark, the funny one, that Riddler. Like he wears like Two-Face suits, and he constantly, again, his face looks like he should have died. Like he got a genie who told him when he was gonna die, and like the day happened last week, and like he looks like that. You know, here's what I love about the such fun and unbelievable techno nightmare CCP hell. There's actually two things I love about this. What does he think?
Right, like what is happening here that you have issue with specifically? Like it's just like, what are you afraid of here?
It's like, what I was thinking is like, what do you think China is getting at? Like, why would they go through this effort? Because I don't know, maybe the culture is different there, but I feel like worldwide, there's really never been a problem of like the cum is staying inside the dick too much.
Yeah.
Like that. Why do you need the dick sucking factory? I don't get it. Like, what does he think the purpose is? What is the operation that this is like a step in?
The conspiracy brain I believe, is it's to further populate and like take over.
There's so many Chinese people already. This is done naturally.
I'm just going based on my vibe of a guy with most of his brain who responded to a dick-sucking machine video.
Also, he does one of my favorite things ever. I love when people do this. Is when they retweet some obvious fucking hoax. They buy it completely. They have been hooked and suckered by the hoax to the fullest extent possible. And as they are commenting on how much they hate the thing that they believe is true, like, I hate that they're doing this at the dick sucking factory. Those bastards over in that evil country sucking dicks at the factory. They comment that it is unbelievable. And every time I'm just like, good instincts. Like,
you gotta listen to that part of you a little more.
Yeah, like, follow that instinct down. Like, don't leave this unexamined here. Like, why do you think it's unbelievable? What do you think might make you think that it's unbelievable, man?
What is the least feasible part, in your opinion, of a factory that sucks dicks?
Specifically for evil Chinese purposes. Like,
correct.
What? Like, you think it's so unbelievable, and it's like, no, why might that be? Like, why am I whatever? There's really nothing more to say about the dick sucking factory other than that
there will be more posts like this, and I look forward to seeing them.
I mean, he already has posts. I didn't get too into it because I can't stand reading.
End of sentence.
I can't stand reading. No, I can't stand reading the fucking AI shit. But he has posts where he's telling the AI, like, please say why Trump was a good president. And then another where he's like, now tell me why Biden is a good president. And he gets upset because the Biden answer has more words in it. And he's like, I see you have put more words in the Biden answer. This means implicit. And I'm just like, oh my God, you're so fucking dumb. You're getting so scared of this for no fucking reason. The reason to be scared is that it's going to delete jobs.
It just seems very Mr. Burns being ketchup, catsup, and people being like, do you need help, man?
Yeah. Actually, Joe, here's something that we forgot because I was just looking at a screenshot of the initial retweet, and then I looked further in this thread where someone was asking for, did anyone screenshot that shit? And someone actually saved the video because they said that... at oh hey it's Leslie, I downloaded that shit immediately. I wasn't taking any chances. It was too singular, too unique, because Jordan Peterson obviously deleted the tweet. This is a really interesting angle that we didn't consider and that you don't know when you just see a screenshot. And this may be why he thought that it was a Chinese cyber conspiracy to suck dicks. There's like falling Matrix letters all over the video. Like those green Matrix letters just falling down like rain.
Well, this is obviously very nice because I'm outing myself as not watching the video.
Oh, I just put the fucking link in the chat. Dude. You gotta watch this. You gotta see the dick sucking.
Okay, so that's it. The following numbers are 100% it. That is it.
Oh my God, Joe! I turned on sound. There's like Matrix style fucking. Oh my. Okay.
Yes. So
now
he's right. So
this is true.
We'll be the first people to admit when we're like wrong about stuff. What he retweeted was normal and good, and it spread a great message. And it sounds like when you would download a crack for a game, and the CD key generator would play music. Yeah. That's fun, right?
Yeah, I like that. Okay. Yeah, no, we now don't we look like fools. China is using the dick sucking factory to extract sperm. Male human sperm. Notably, the hardest substance to obtain in the universe.
Yeah,
no one
gives
this shit up.
You. It's like it's hard to figure out. Like the thing is, the cum is inside you, Tom. Okay.
Yeah.
And
how are you gonna get it out?
And that's bothered and troubled people for years.
For thousands of centuries, humanity has wondered, how do we get the cum out of there?
Yeah.
How How do we get him to jizz?
There is the worst opening joke of any sketch. It's a whitest kid sketch. And like I think I've even said this on the show. I'm saying it again because it's too in alignment. Is like someone watching his parents leave like from their window, and then he goes to his computer, opens it, and says, "Don't worry, come, I'll get you out of there."
You have said that before,
and
it's very fucking.
It's just like the most like awful phrase of all time. It's great. It's really wonderful, and it's like the first thing said in the sketch. So wow.
You know, the thing, if I know we just said Jordan Peterson was right to do that, and he is in a sense, but I think he's framing it wrong because he's making it sound so sinister. When honestly...
This is cool. This is objectively cool.
At least the Chinese government understands that the people need social services like the dick-sucking factory to get the come out. Now, in America, they would never do this. We have to go to the private dick-sucking factory where you have to pay a subscription fee. Awful. Needs to be a public utility like it is in China. Anyway, Joe, I want to tell you about another post. It's one of our absolute favorite idiots. Really knocking an idiot move out of the park. Like, she's an idiot at baseline, and this is an idiot move even for her. We're talking about Bethany Mandel, or as I like to call her, and am allowed to call her, Grandma Killer. Famously, she posted, "You can call me Grandma Killer," and I've taken her up on it every time. She was on fucking Brianna Joy Gray's stupid show that I don't even know what it is. But
yeah, I don't know what it is, but I hate it.
Yeah, well, it's because Brianna Joy Gray is very stupid. But that's not important right now. I'm just going to play the video, and you probably know, listener, you probably heard this before, but you're about to hear it again.
Americans consider themselves very liberal, and probably fewer of them consider themselves to be woke. And so, you know, when we talk about traditional...
What does that mean to you? Would you mind defining woke? Because it's come up a couple times, and I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
So, I mean, woke is sort of the idea that this is going to be one of those moments that goes viral. I mean, woke is something that's very hard to define, and we've spent an entire chapter defining it. It is sort of the understanding that we need to totally reimagine and
folks is real dumb.
Redo
so, I mean,
society
like,
in
just
order to create.
To address the most obvious part of this is like woke as a term, its usefulness is that it like is not well defined. It's a very broad stroke that can be
it means bad.
It allows you to identify your cultural enemies, and it's like, who are they? Well, don't dive in too much because there's some pretty clear patterns.
Mm-hmm.
So one, this thing to try to pin people down on it's like, what does woke mean? And like, yes, that's good to do, and I just feel like it's kind of pointless because the actual utility is in the way that like people will just dismiss and yell stuff off as woke. and that's it. It's like it's a tool that is used to just basically just like,
I mean, it's like the witch finder general. It's like, you're a witch. Like, why? How do you figure? Because I am the witch finder, and I said you're a witch. Like, the utility is that it means bad, and when people hear it, the people that you're trying to reach, at least, they go, I hate that. I'm fucking mad now. Rawr. I will do terrorism against the target.
Yeah. You know when you press B in Pikmin and you blow the whistle and they all like jump and gather up? That's when they're saying woke. They're trying to get that effect.
So the reason Bethany is so goddamn dumb is because every one of these right-wing ghouls who does this knows exactly what they're doing when they say woke and use it as a term for bad, and as a term for black people. Really, it's the N-word, but you don't get in trouble for saying it.
Yeah, however, I mean, like that's what's wild about this is like now we like 40% of speaking adults using a term like this, which has that kind of baked into it. It's not good.
It's not good. But the thing is that these ghouls all know that. And so the idea of like trying to stake your reputation on like defining this as like a real thing is a real loser's game, because like we all know what it really means. Wink, wink. Bethany wrote a fucking book as though woke was real, and then when asked to define it, can't. Because again, you should never allow yourself to get, if you're one of those right-wing freaks, like you're a debate club guy, so you know the stupid weaselly little strategies to get out of rhetorical gotcha areas without actually saying anything. So they all know that if anyone asks you to define woke, you weasel out and then move on. She just doesn't. She's just like, allow me to become scholarly. Oops, fuck. Oh no.
This was also the woman who posted a picture of the mask her child was using, and unfortunately it seemed like her child had every debuff because the mask was very scary inside. Whatever happens to people in Bloodborne was clearly happening there.
You know how when you're wearing a mask and you spend a couple hours extruding a brown ooze from the inside of the mask through it, and it drips out on the outside? Oh no, you don't? Oh, it's something only Bethany's children do. It was just like, yeah. Oh, my God. She was the one, yeah, when she said, you can call me Grandma Killer, the reason was that she was,
she killed her mom.
Well, we'll get to that. But it was because, like, I refuse to put on a mask instead of being able to go to the zoo as I please. And her children, if they were forced to wear a mask, emit a brown sludge. And she did kill her mom. Let me find that on my bookmarks. This is a post of Bethany's from November 2nd, 2014. I watched my mom die. I took her off of life support before we knew if she would survive, because I had the choice to do it then.
Why would you, even if you did this, why would you post it? And I'll kill again.
Fuck. And I'll kill again. I mean, it really offers some some context to the "you can call me Grandma Killer," because as far as her children are concerned, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a cool icebreaker, I think.
Yeah. So obviously Bethany Mandel really did a big oof, dumbass move. Classic Bethany. And
so when these things happen, we know what happens afterwards, right? Okay, so two camps form about whether or not someone was an innocent angel or a huge dumbass.
Yeah, obviously she was a dumbass, and we know that. And obviously her ideological allies on the right are going to say she's actually smart, and this was just a normal gaffe. But
Jonathan Chait tagged in to be like, this is just an understandable oopsie. People freeze up on camera.
Chait.
Yeah, so he's known for taking pictures of himself in the gym shower with a cut above his eye.
Mm-hmm. He also, oh man, he did this. He came to her defense just like hours after he had just spent weeks coming to the defense of anti-trans pervert Jesse Singal, who did, I haven't been following that shit super closely because I don't care to learn about that fucker, but apparently he really violated HIPAA and published a lot of personal information that he should not have had access to because it's from medical.
And he revealed this all willingly. It was a real show in your ass moment. And then he deleted his account.
Yeah, and then he made a post on his Substack saying that I'm tweeting this. He said that I'm writing this from prison, internet prison, the worst kind of prison.
Is that said with any humor? Is that completely sincere?
It's hard to tell.
I don't know, because if it's completely sincere, you are dealing with a scary person.
But Shade had just spent a week being like, anyone who's like, Jesse Singal is a clearly evil idiot, incompetent. He's like, maybe all that shit he said was true. Maybe there are litter boxes in the schools. Maybe there are. And it's like, no, John, you can do reporting. He's like, can you do reporting? I don't Anyway, so he immediately decides, you know what I could really do to top myself is I'm going to tap in on Bethany. He says, I find the pile-on about this clip kind of gross. She may be wrong, but she's not an idiot. False, John. She just froze up on TV. It happens. Anyway, Mandel is in fact able to provide a definition of the term woke. Are progressives going to like this definition? No. I'd suggest arguing with her ideas instead of pretending she's a complete moron who doesn't know what the word means.
She can't talk. What do you mean argue with her ideas? Because it was an exchange from square one. It was like, let's set some terms here. And then that didn't happen.
I mean, it really is just like, as much as I just like Brianna Joy Gray, she is right to be like, before we go any further, like, what do you actually mean when you say that word?
Why hasn't that been done more? I feel like this shouldn't, like, I feel like we should be having this discussion in 2021.
Yeah. Well, it's fucking too late now. Anyway, he gives this definition. He provides her definition, which she gave a day later. She had a lot of time to workshop this with all of her evil friends.
There was for sure a group chat, and they hammered this sucker out.
Okay. And, man, this is a bad definition. Here it goes. Her definition from Bethany Mandel. Quote, a radical belief system suggesting that our institutions are built around discrimination and claiming that all disparity is a result of that discrimination. It seeks a radical redefinition of society in which equality of group result is the endpoint, enforced by an angry mob.
I love two uses of radical because this is such a wonderful little trick because it's like, it's radical, unlike me, a reasonable speaker in the middle of what can be considered sane. Just perfectly in balance, a moderate that considers all points, unlike the radical.
The loony left. Joe, she tries to dress it up with academic language, but this is exactly the same shit. You see this fucking constantly. When you ask people, like, what do you mean by woke? Like, what do you mean when you say that? They always will give a definition that somehow the wording will be different, but it will always be when the left goes too far. The definition is always too far, which is not a definition because that is you're editorializing. What do you like? What does too far mean? Like the thing
it's
you always
a threat.
say is,
actually, it's an actual threat because it's like, don't ask or push for too much, because then the reactionary forces of the world will crush you. And it's like, this is like a framing we are seeing in this mayoral election, which is just like, oh, Chicago better not elect the wrong guy or, they'll fall apart and become like Detroit or whatever. And it's like, thank you, guy who fucking lives in Elmhurst.
I especially love like Lightfoot's utter defeat just goes to show Chicago does not want a progressive mayor, and it's like, okay, but what I really hate is when they're doing this fucking like going too far shit. When they're defining, it's like they always go like, now I support rights for gay people and other races. Yeah. I just don't want it shoved down my throat. And it's like, bitch, what does define shove down my throat? Like, what do you, like, what, it's always like.
You're aware of it. Is it, you're aware of it? Because I feel like once you became aware of it, you can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah. Like this is not a sober academic fucking definition that she's giving. This is an editorialization. Not only does she say radical twice, again, an editorialization. It is her opinion that, again, only exists to make the other side look crazy and her smart. But she also says the last clause, enforced by an angry mob. What do you mean? What angry mob? It has to be. What if it isn't enforced by an angry mob? Is it not woke? Like she was saying, and someone had like dug up some post where like Megan Rapinoe, the fucking soccer player, was
lady,
like,
right?
Yeah. She was like on like a Wheaties box or something, and she was like, "Go woke, go broke," and it's like,
what are you saying?
Did an angry mob put her on the box? And this is another thing that they love to do, which is like, you're editorializing. This is not real. When you say that the wokeness suggests all disparity is a result of that discrimination. No one's saying that. No one's saying all disparity, because that makes the left look loony. It makes them think that there's no nuance anywhere. Anytime anyone isn't doing well, it is only because of societal forces. It's like, no, not always only, but most of the time. It's like it is possible for someone in a minority group to play the evil game and become a millionaire or billionaire. And like, that doesn't fucking change shit. It's so annoying. All disparity. No one claims that, you fucking moron. I hate this bitch.
Yeah, and none of these definitions are good, and they will continue to change. And that's fine, because we've established it's not about a definition. It's useful because it's for putting the target reticule on your enemies and alerting your squad.
Mm-hmm. And anyway, to put a target reticle on our enemy and alert our squad, it would be funny enough if she'd had that funny clip and then gave that stupid definition and then had Jonathan Chait come to her defense. Because also she has like Matt Walsh and that fucking new creep who says transgenderism must be abolished and then gets really scandalized when you think he means that transgender people must be abolished. Those two creeps came to her defense being like, great definition, Bethany, you're so smart. And so them and
they
Chait
were
are
in the
same.
group chat.
Yes, they came up with it. They were the one who said, oh, you should say all disparity. All disparity. It makes them sound crazy. But in addition to all that, Bethany, another incredible unforced error, which is she thought to herself, I need to explain why I froze up on the fucking clip. I need to explain why it was normal that I couldn't think of anything.
So I like this because this is just classic starting shit. That's all this is. It's the drama impulse. I love it.
It's so good. And it's so funny, too. I will read it. Just before we went on air, Brianna Joy Gray was on a hot mic. I heard her demeaning parenting in general, in colorful and nasty terms, stating parents only have kids in order to perpetuate their own narcissism. Robbie, I assume he's on the show, maybe a producer. Robbie responded, there are some good ones and some bad ones. As a mom of 6, including a newborn, this threw me off just a bit. Not an excuse, just a reality. It's literally an excuse, Bethany. I'm human.
Parenting in general, like the idea of it, they were bad-mouthing it.
Brianna Joy Gray was saying, you know who I hate? You know who I can't stand? All parents. And
like, even if she was saying that, as a mother of 6, like, you should be secure in your parentingness, right? Like, you've done whatever. Why are you so off kilter about this very real conversation?
What was she gonna be? She's gonna be like, I'm gonna call up all of my contacts in the Bernie campaign and be like, activate Order 66, guys. All parents, kill them. So a lot of people were saying like she made this up, like this didn't things that didn't happen for 500, Alex. I actually believe that Brianna Joy Gray is the type of person who would just say this. Like,
I mean, if it's true, that's awesome. It is really cool to start an interview by just saying some wild shit. That's awesome.
Just be like, hey, just so you know, before we begin, fucking parents. Like, why are they doing that shit? I'm sick of them. Get rid of them. No more.
Aren't you guys sick of wheels? Anyway.
I love this shit. Bethany's, you can call her grandma killer. You're allowed. She won't get mad at you. People can't say you're being mean. You can do it. Anyway, if she's going to be dumb in the future, she's really funny.
Yeah, I'm going to suggest we walk away from this thing, which is very loaded in language, and sort of like unpacking specific types of hypocrisy and double meaning of words, and we go for something more slapstick.
Yeah, show me. What do you want? What do you want?
You and I both found this independently, which is wonderful. There is a video Tom and I are obsessed with, which is a guy in short sleeve fatigues has set up a bunch of dummies and like, you know how like target shooting has like outlines of like a human, you know, that sort of thing. He's like set up a bunch of those, and I would describe what he does as Arkham Asylum combat.
He's doing Arkham Asylum combat. He's doing free flow combat moves. Oh, he's also like doing
surrounded.
gun kata. Oh my god, I'm watching this video. So like he's attempting to do gun kata because he's got all the little things near him, like the dummies near him, that he's slashing extremely slowly with his knife in his right hand, and in his left hand he's got a gun which he's just like letting off seemingly at random, very close to his arm. It's hilarious.
So it's a 25-second video at the 19-second mark. You can watch him point a gun at his own head.
Oh shit, okay, I'm watching. So in the beginning he opens up with like doing knife slash moves, like he's trying to do like actual moves.
So good, because it's like he's painting.
It's so slow. But like after that 19-second mark when he almost shoots himself in the head.
I'm sorry, it's closer to 17. 19 was me reacting to what had just happened. I apologize.
There are so many instances where he's firing the gun and he's looking in the opposite direction, and it's like that could have gone anywhere. But at around that 19-second mark, he's pointed the gun at his own head by accident. He's reloading the new gun, and he just takes out another knife and just boop, sticks it in the dummy, and it looks like nothing so much as him like putting it away, like sticking it in the knife block for later.
Yeah, you just got done using the bread knife to cut some bread, and you put it in the block. It's so fun. He's so cool. He's the coolest person that ever lived. And the reason he's cool is, we didn't say this yet, he got multiple angles of him doing this. So you can appreciate that he was, one, surrounded, two, knows all of the counterattacks for the Arkham Asylum combat system.
He knows about when a guy with a taser comes, you cannot block. You cannot block. You'll get tased. You have to dash over him, which will get him to be all confused. If you try to punch him straight on, you're going to punch the taser. You got to get behind him. You got to get him confused. Then you punch him in the back. That's very important. You can also use the takedown move by pressing B and Y at the same time, but it will use up meter.
It's just like as he's like killing people, they're just going to stand there. This is the funny part.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know why? Because it's a Muso game, right? The most fighting is done by hordes of guys that only step left and right.
Yeah. So, Joe, this is, I think, the logical endpoint of the right-wing NPC concept, where the leftoids are NPCs. He truly believes that when the day of reckoning comes, there will be 5,000 leftoids standing in a big row, and they will just stand there for him to do his ultimate move upon. It's very funny.
An exclamation mark will appear above his head when he needs to dodge.
That's correct. Speaking of incredible guys doing amazing moves with their guns, I have to bring up one of the funniest videos of all time from a man named Eric Popper. He's a man who has had no charges levied against him. Why would I say that? Well, because I'm going to describe some shit that you really think of some charges would be levied against you if you did this.
It seems like what charges were made for.
So, he has made a video of himself in his car. I think he must be a dash cam or something, because it's inside his car. And it's just taken a video of himself driving his car on a normal day in, would you believe, the state of Florida. And I'm not going to play the whole thing because most of the audio is not relevant, but I will play this part at the beginning. So yeah, he's just riding down the street, going down the highway, saying "You can suck my D, you stupid B," to some house music, like a cool guy.
And then I guess at some point, someone on the road did something he didn't approve of. So in the middle console, he has a gun.
It is very funny the way he just... Because this is called a road rage incident, and I'm sure he was feeling some rage. But like when you watch it, there's nothing that's so striking as the calmness with which he opens the center console, fiddles his hand down there until he finds like... It's like the gun is like sealed in some carrying case or something, because he has to like do something to open it up a little compartment. He does it very calmly. And then he pulls out a fucking heater and is just holding a gun in his lap as he's driving. Oh, it's so good. And so
he catches up to this person that has slighted him or is the target of his ire. And I was like, oh, this is going to be like a cold video. I don't like this. He's going to roll down the window and like we're going to see scary things.
Yeah, this is going to be like GTA in real life, but and because of that, it's like going to be like, oh, we were wrong to think that this was a fun game.
Yeah. So he starts shooting like Elmer Fudd and like...
I cannot overstate how... From the first shot, he loses total control of the gun and keeps firing just randomly.
He puts holes in his windshield and the passenger side window. He doesn't roll anything down. Obviously, you can't roll down your fucking windshield, but like I thought maybe you would roll down your side. None of that shit happened.
Just absolutely spraying lead all over the place. And it's very funny that this is like, it really looks like it's the first time he's ever fired a gun. Because the second that first shot goes off, and maybe it's because he's in an enclosed space, so he definitely has just heard the loudest sound any human has ever heard.
Yeah, it's scary.
And
he wasn't prepared.
He like sinks down into his chair. It looks like he shrinks a full foot. His head retracts into his body like a turtle's would. It's so fucking funny. He's just absolutely going nuts. It feels, you know that fucking Simpsons bit where I think Bart has like a fire hose, or no, it's Lisa has a fire hose, and she's trying to control it, and it's just wiggling, and she's going along with it, like she's like in the air holding it. That's what this is. Oh
yes, and no charges because like what was determined that he stood his ground, that he won.
Well, actually, he came into the courtroom, and they all saw that his skin was white, and they're like, "Oh, we can go home. Don't worry about it. You shot a gun? Well, yes, you would. Look at you." Fucking Christ. It's very funny. He just... And I think I sort of blazed past this rather quickly. I think it's very funny to consider that, again, less than a minute before he let loose a full clip onto a crowded highway, which again, you don't get, there's no consequences for, that's legal. Seconds before he did that, he was singing parody falsetto lyrics, "You can suck my D, you can suck my D, you stupid B," to himself in his car. And that's just American
like
culture,
really relatable. I think the real appeal of a dash cam is not for security and like court evidence reasons, but to make sure when you really are in the zone with a stupid song that it is recorded for posterity.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, that's what it's all about. I will say though that Erica Dreisbach, former guest and cool person, she has a dash cam. It's pointing out, I don't know if it records sound, but she once told me that she was driving and there was a pickup truck, an F-150, that had in its cab a big ladder that was just like...
just in there.
Yeah, it's larger than the length of the cab, so it was like at an angle, you know? And she says that She was driving, and it was in front of her, and she's like, that is not secured in any way. I'm scared. I'm going to give a lot of room to this guy. And then that car went underneath a bridge, and the air currents were such that the the ladder was lifted in the air, spun 180 degrees, and landed in the cab, but oriented the different way. So the the angle was opposite.
Do you think the driver was aware that the Star Fox happened behind him?
1,000% no, he was not. Also, she caught it on camera. I saw a video of this. I didn't believe it was true. It's true. It happened, folks.
If you showed me this video, but you prefaced it with ghosts are real, I would believe you.
Fuck. Joke. I want to do a quick little one. We've been talking about things that have a lot of meat to them. I want to do just a like knockout punch, a jab right to the face that makes you see stars. This is a real good post. This was after it was announced that in Australia they lost that tiny little thingy that had like crazy amounts of radioactive material in it. Like it fell off a truck on the highway, and they're like, hello, people on the highway. If you see a little metal canister that looks like a grain of rice, please tell us. Also, don't go near it or you'll melt. Anyway,
yeah, it's very small. You won't be able to tell what it is until you get very close, but don't go near it.
Yeah, so that was what was in the news. And people were talking about that. And this motherfucker, Generation Y Entertainment, at Gen Y Ent, said, my dad knew a guy who swallowed a radioactive pill or some shit in his science class when he was in grade 12. Now, this is starting off pretty good.
I have so much respect for the linguistical tool of or some shit.
It's pretty good. And this really sets you up. You're locked in for fun. You want to know what's next. I need to know. A radioactive pill or some shit. Oh, this is going to be a fun story. Next sentence. They never found out if it did anything to him because he got stabbed to death a few months later.
What? Whoa. Whoa.
Ah!
Wouldn't it like radiate him immediately though?
Yeah, months, dude. I think it didn't do anything. But wow.
Yeah, I think that guy had like the worst 3 months of his life because he was like heavily irradiated. He was like a Fallout guy.
And obviously he made an enemy who really didn't he hated him so much to stab him to death, which also is that's a shitty way to die because you don't die right away. You can get shot and die instantly. You can't get stabbed and die instantly.
No. I think when he became like irradiated, he was flagged for PvP, and that's what happened.
Oh, yeah, totally. That makes sense.
So if you listened to the show before, you know that Tom and I love that podcasts are a medium that is exclusively for homework freaks, for people who hate fun. The idea of telling a joke is not a thing that can occur.
Yeah, that's not entrepreneurial. You're not going to get a business mindset from telling jokes. And that really, the medium of recorded audio, it just kind of like, you think about it for a second. The only way that recorded audio can go is toward the business mindset. So that's why those podcasts are the most popular.
So here's an exchange between entrepreneurs. We have this person starting this thread is Shadi Hamid, and then he is posed a very interesting question by Derek Thompson.
Can I read the post that started off this exchange from Shadi?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm in Philly, and a lot of people are wearing Eagles jerseys. This is when the Super Bowl was happening. Maybe I'm a curmudgeon, but the idea of publicly wearing a jersey and orienting your entire day around getting excited about a game where people run into each other with helmets is vaguely annoying.
This is sports ball shit. This is sports ball with too many words. This is a fucking stupid post. I hope Philly throws batteries at him.
Yeah. This is like Super Bowl, more like Superb Owl.
Like I don't follow sports that much, but like the holier than thou element of it, when you have like a huge sense of camaraderie, like obviously I understand the appeal of these things.
Yeah, like what is the point of a city if not to feel along with your fellow city citizens that your city is cool? And
like what binds me with my neighbors? It's how well the Arlington Heights Bears did last night.
Yeah, exactly.
So in response to that sports ball tweet, Derek Thompson asks, what are some highly popular American pastimes that you approve of?
Pastimes. Remember, pastimes was what he asked about. Pastimes was the question.
Baseball is a pastime, right? Because it's like a tradition.
Yeah.
It's an entertainment tradition.
Pastime is hobbies. Hobbies are pastimes. Activities are pastimes. He's asking about pastimes, and you might be wondering, why are you harping on that, Tom? Well, foreshadowing, folks, because he answers some other shit.
Okay, nerd alert. First word is reading. That's not true.
Lol, who reads?
Highly popular American pastimes. This person has never stepped foot in this country then.
Well, you know what, actually, he probably thinks, when he thinks about reading, what he thinks is reading business books, like Don't Bullshit the Client, which probably everyone he knows does read those all the time. So he's wrong in a larger sense, but he's right in the sense that he only knows business nerds. So, okay, well, fair enough.
Second one is road trips. I'm actually willing to give him this one on like the larger American mythos.
It also is a pastime.
Jack Kerouac. Yes, exactly. Absolutely.
Also, yeah, it's a huge country with tons of roads. The idea of like going out west and going to the truck
all
stops.
Roads.
Yeah,
that's the fucking problem.
Yeah, that was what we didn't like about Wilmington.
Voting is his third thing.
I love this.
It doesn't take that much time. You don't do it that often.
It's not fun. It's not a hobby.
I don't believe civic engagement is one of our stronger skills as a country. And I certainly would not consider voting an activity that does not happen frequently to be a highly popular pastime. For one, you can't just vote when you want.
Yeah. Also, it's not popular. Isn't the big issue that not enough people vote, that the turnout's always low?
It's the same. Yeah, the same problem since forever.
It's very funny. It's very small brained because it's like, he's like, an American democracy, that's all about voting. That's an American pastime for sure. But like, what he's probably thinking of is like being into politics. Like that could technically be a pastime, but reducing it to voting is like, I'm into movies. I'm a cinephile, but my pastime is touching the little touch screen at the movie theater and making the ticket come out. Like that's my pastime. It's like, no, that's just a thing you do every once in a while.
Next item, entrepreneurship. Unfortunately, he's right and it sucks.
Ooh, and we thought he was a nerd for starting with reading. The nerd quotient has been jacked up to an exponential level. Jesus Christ.
Next one is
no, sorry. Before we move on, I just think it's especially funny to go on entrepreneurship, especially after fucking whole Silicon Valley Bank thing, and it was sort of revealed that like, all of these apps are
fake. They don't do anything. They're weird middlemen that extract fees, and they make your phone hot.
I sent you the TechCrunch headline, blah blah car to be acquired by Klaxit.
Yeah.
It's just like that's what entrepreneurship is. It's blah blah car and Klaxit.
His next one is immigration, which like historically I feel like makes sense. I take issue with it as like a pastime, as in like not everyone can get involved in like
also am I crazy, but you can only do that once.
Yeah, maybe you could become like an advocate and that sort of thing, but I don't know. My issue is that concept is at a different level of abstraction than, say, road trips.
Yeah.
Going to Cheesecake Factory.
Folks,
He's
we got the
fucking right.
brands in here.
He's fucking right, though. He's right. Like, he sucks, but he's right.
I love the brands. I love that he goes through the. No, this is actually an idiot American, ugly American evil person brain pathology that is under discussed, at least among us, which is that, like, for so many Americans, like, the only thing that matters is, like, that I get to interface with the brands. Like, I need to be able to go to Walmart. I need to be able to eat at a chain restaurant. And, like, the thing that made Fauci the devil, one of the most evil men of all time, is that he made it so that you couldn't go to the brand. Like, don't stay at home, don't go to brand. And
yeah,
that's
the Dr. Man made Red Robin go away.
Exactly. And, like, they cannot. It's like it has been pointed out that, like, these, like, 100 years ago, there weren't mega brands like this. There just weren't. And within 100 years, they have become basically gods. Like going to Cheesecake Factory is like what America's all about. And it's like, it's just a brand. I love it.
It is. The next item is non-branded cheeseburgers. Also true, though.
Yeah, folks, a blind pig finds the truffle.
This next one is such an own on us. Milk. Just
the
milk.
Pastime of milk. What's a highly popular American pastime you approve
milk.
of?
Do you ever think about how much... Do you ever think about how many commercials or advertisements in your childhood were just telling you to drink milk?
The funny thing is that I'm a little kid. I don't buy the food. Like, I don't decide what I eat.
But it communicated and correctly that if you don't drink milk, you're a little bitch.
Yes, that's correct. Also, that when you drink milk, a disgusting swab of white paint will be rubbed across the top of your mouth. I don't understand the milk. Like, the milk mustache was such a big point of branding. Like, have you ever seen that actually occur? It's a liquid, dude. It flows down. Even if you did fuck up drinking so much that you got milk all over your face, which I've never done, would just go off. It wouldn't stay.
I know we started this to kind of make fun of this guy, but he's kind of won me over with this list a little bit. His last item in this tweet, complaining about white liberals, which is also, like, true. That's true. Yeah. He has a correct read on that. We do a lot of that. Everyone does. Even the liberals. At least I hope they do.
I think he got blinded by entrepreneurship and milk being highly popular American pastimes and thought that he was an idiot. But, like, I love complaining about white liberals. That's Biden. That's President Brandon Byron. Joe Brandon.
His next tweet I love because of the, like, dismissiveness of, like, the opening gambit, which is, and going to church, I guess. Although I myself don't do it since I'm not Christian, but it's an American pastime that I appreciate and think more people should take part in. And bowling leagues, I guess.
He starts off so confident, and then he's just like, I guess this, meh.
I guess I'd be fine if more people went to church. Fine, whatever. I don't go, but sure.
I mean, a lot of churches are real anti-gay. And that would be bad. I would hate it if more people were going to a big room every week where a guy said, "Hey, the Lord, He'll kill you if you're gay." And they're like, I guess he'd do that. I guess he would do that. I wouldn't like that. Not every church does that, but some of them do. Anyway, this fucking guy. Entrepreneurship and milk are my takeaways. I'm going to get into milk so that I can become more in touch with the real America. I love milk. Joe,
I can't tell if this is like a homework-brained guy or like this is just a ruthless own. I don't know. The milk thing is funny.
The milk thing is very funny. I want to tell you about a post from NATO. And I'm not talking about a fake NATO. I'm talking about the real NATO account, at NATO, with a blue check that they didn't pay for. Can I tell you about a NATO post, Joe?
Yeah, and so these are NATO is this fun account on Twitter that bombed Kosovo.
Yeah. And they have oh boy. Talk about brands, baby. They have a picture of Ukraine. And it is after there has been some military activity in this area. And the reason I can tell this is because there's a great deal of rubble and destruction. And there are some people who are walking through this rubble and destruction. There's some fucked up buildings in the background that have not yet fallen down, but many of the buildings have, in fact, fallen down. Now, if this happened to me, I'd be very upset. I would hate it if I lived in a area that there had been military activity in and that had made buildings fall down. Am I alone in this, Joe? Do you agree?
No, I like it when they stay standing.
Yeah, and as much as I hate that, what I would hate even more is if the official NATO account had said this. Ukraine is hosting one of the great epics of this century. We are Harry Potter and William Wallace, the Na'vi and Han Solo. We're escaping from Shawshank and blowing up the Death Star. We are fighting with the Harkonnens and challenging Thanos.
Okay, so William Wallace is like a real guy.
Yeah, but he's from movie. He's from a movie. The thing, Joe, I don't know if you picked up on this. All that shit was from movies.
We are the blue people from Avatar.
We do.
I just don't know how you could say that and think it doesn't like belittles the struggle. Like any activity where you describe what you're doing like that is now less.
It's childish is what it is. It's like a baby wrote it. I mean, my mind goes to when Trump killed Soleimani, the Iranian general.
Yeah.
And some Iranian personality was like, we would love to retaliate against the U.S., but they have no heroes. What are we going to do? Assassinate SpongeBob? And, like, that is a brutal and devastating own.
They got our ass.
They got our ass. And, like, the thing to do when that happens is, like, deny it. You don't be like, yeah, SpongeBob is my hero. But what they did was just like, you know what's great about this war? We're Han Solo. It's like, oh, fuck me. God damn. It's like
the thing is that probably, like, obviously this framing and being like, we're all these movie characters is stupid for a bunch of reasons. I do believe it is effective in public perception of Ukrainians because people really are like, I like those movies. That's all I need to know.
I mean, we make fun of like kind of the Funko Pop people. All they care about is the brand. Their entire lives are in service to IP and brands and franchises that they like. They just eat up the slop and can't think of anything else. Ha ha ha. And when that's true, like, what better way to drum up support for a country in war than to be like, this motherfucker's Harry Potter. Like, the country, it's Harry Potter. Like, Harry Potter is that place. Like, there's a lightning bolt on the ground over there. It's probably an SS lightning bolt, given that it's Ukraine, but let's not focus on that.
This would work on me if you told me that conflict diamonds have also caused Goku to be stuck somewhere. I would single-handedly end that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. NATO. Joe, the thing is, it's one thing to be like Brooklyn Dad defiant and post this.
NATO. They have jets.
It's like the NATO. Fuck. Ah.
I'm tired. Let's bring it home.
Yeah, we gotta wrap it up. There's so many more posts that I want to say that we don't have time for. Maybe we'll save them for next time. You know what's really good is that Twitter is better than ever, and it's not getting worse. And one way that you can tell that it's really normal is that there was just a week where every big post had a bunch of replies about people being like, hey, do you need a clean heater? Like, do you need a gat?
Yeah, do you need a gun? I saw that bot response on someone who was like, God, my job makes me want to hurt myself. And yeah, they reply is like, got clean gats, and then they would do the fire emoji and the water gun emoji.
Yeah, and so Twitter's fine, and
Yeah.
using it is normal. And you know what else is normal?
The BBC did a big study, and they determined that there were no ill effects from the COVID and the plague and the world fucking up.
Yeah,
They
mental
did a
health
ve-
crisis from pandemic was minimal.
It wasn't really an issue. Like,
Actually, no one died from it. Like, it didn't happen.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
so
yeah.
normal.
Yeah, it was just like an improv game that got out of hand.
Yeah, and nobody got insane. It's like, it's totally normal, and we're all normal. Like, it said we're normal, and we are.
Right. Tom, I gotta tell you, I'm wearing these yellow socks, and the reason I like these yellow socks is that they have grippies on two sides, so you can't even like put it on wrong.
Oh, wow. I imagine that would be very useful walking around the house. You can't slip.
Yeah, I got a hardwood floors. It's useful for that. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to wear shoes. You don't have to wear house shoes. Usually you need to do that to get that anti-slip. That's pretty cool. Actually, I think I'm on one with some of those. How can I get those? Where'd you get them?
Oh, I got them when I went fucking insane.
Woo!
When they
Thank
take
you,
your
BBC
belt,
News.
they give you these socks.
That's all the time we have for Anime Sickos this week. Keep reading the posts, folks. We sure are. I've been
See ya.
Tom, an Anime Sicko.
I've been Joe, an anime sicko.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, a sicko. You can follow me on Twitter at TomHarrison19. Joe is also a sicko. You can follow him on Twitter at ShariaUncle. You can follow Anime Sickos on Twitter at Anime Sickos, or email us at animesickos@gmail.com. Please leave us a review or something. I don't know. Tell a friend. Anyway, until next time, bye.